PTR 91 tabletop review. Are you ready? Yes, I am. Bring it, Nutton. I'm ready. Well, you may not be, because this will not be a glowing review. Hey, here's a pro tip. If you want to be a superstar YouTuber, popular, tell people what they want to hear. No, I'm not joking. That is the formula. If you tell people what they want to hear in YouTube, you will be popular. What I strive to do is tell the truth as I discover it about each gear item. No apologies.
Badass, isn't it?
So when I've read the requests to review the PTR 91 over the last decade, no joke, the first thing I ask myself is, are these guys really watching my gun reviews? Because this philosophy is very clear, it's consistent, it's logical. I do separate it between first cool and second cool. I will totally do that with this gun review. I think the answer is probably not. Because I've read over the last decade, dude, you got to review the PTR 91, PTR 91. And in reading those reviews, I sense a lot of enthusiasm for the gun. And they want, I guess, vindication or whatever with a TMP review that says, yeah, this thing is awesome. You're super smart for having bought one. And really, that's what it boils down to. The dude already owns a PTR. He just wants a video that reinforces his purchase decision, perhaps. I don't tell people what they necessarily want to hear. Sometimes it'll intersect, and that's awesome. I really like it when that happens, by the way, because it's still truth, but it also aligns with what people feel. And then other times I'll break ranks, as I pretty much always do here. It is what it is. Some people welcome the honest information. Some people absolutely hate it, and they hate me for delivering it. It's been that way forever here. It's nothing new. Nothing new. So when I review the PTR 91, I talked about the guys commenting. Who are they? Do they watch the videos? I'm also asking myself, what approach do I use to review the PTR? And I think what I'm going to do, and you're looking at it right here on the table, is I will compare it against modern alternatives. Here's why. Because guys who have requested PTR 91 reviews, and in talking with them, they are considering it as their primary go-to-war 308 battle rifle. That's why. They're not saying, hey, I have a real thing for H&K. It's a second cool thing. There's that second cool flag. And if you don't know what that means by now, you're way behind, bro. You need to watch a lot more videos. It's been discussed for 10 years here. It's a second cool thing with them. And they're not really saying that. They're saying, hey, I'm considering a PTR 91 against, I don't know, for instance, a Savage MSR-10, which one should I buy? So when I approach the video, I have to kind of do it like that for it to be more interesting, for it to be honest, and for us to do some comparison and contrast.
Yeah, that recoil.
You'll find a lot of good press about the PTR, for sure. It's everywhere online. Everybody will rave about its accuracy, how awesome it is. It's almost a group thing. Actually, it's not almost. It is a group thing. Everybody loves it. It's good. There are a couple good things I like about it. I will say so. But overall, when we get to whether I would buy it, I'm going to be just totally honest. And you no doubt sense where I am going with that. This is not a history lesson, by the way, on the HK91, the G3, the SETME. No, there's plenty of information out there. I try to make this video as short as I can. If I could do it in 10 minutes, I would love that. It ain't going to happen, but if I could, I would. They make several variations of this, the PTR 91 FR, the GI, the KFM4R, the MSG 91. That's kind of a precision shooter. It weighs 12 pounds naked. We'll get to that again. And PTR Industries is its own thing now. They are made in the United States. There's a history there. You can go to their website and check it out. I think it's cool, and I think that this gun being produced is still excellent. It really boils down to first and second cool for me. It totally does. And we'll get to that one. We say, how does it shoot? Would I buy it? First things first, features. And I have to start off with this. I made mention of it with the MSG 91. which is kind of like a PSG takeoff. How about it's 9 pounds 5 ounces without optics? It is 11 pounds as you see it with a 3x9 scope on it. 11 pounds. This thing, the MSR 10, which will be in a bracketed review, you see it right here, is 8 pounds 3 ounces with a magazine in it, no optic, just naked. 9.7 is configured with a mag in it. I have the mag out just to fit it on the table. Dude, that's heavy. So the internet is weird. YouTube is weird. Gun tubers sometimes can be weird about weight. They act like when they find a gun they really, really like, that weight goes out the window. We don't care. And I say you don't care because you're not hiking with it. That you're not out there in an operational environment using it. Weight is huge. And when you tell me I have to be excited about a 9 pound 5 ounce naked 308 battle rifle because the internet says I have to be excited about it, forget it. No, I will not change my philosophies. It's not going to happen. It just won't. This, by the way, is a super awesome Steyr M9A1. Previously reviewed, highly recommended. Tabletop decoration. The watch is a super cool PRW 600 Casio. Awesome. Link in the bottom if I can find it. Features review, though. It starts with weight. And yeah, it's a bit much. Probably a pound, actually more than a pound, about a pound, pound and a half more than some competitors. Not all. And not all modern AR-10s are lightweight. Not all modern 7.6251 rifles are lightweight. They're not. The Kel-Tec RFB, that's heavy. It's about the same weight. It's heavy. And I'll ding it all. That's why I go back to the intro. I said, well, are guys watching the reviews that are requesting a PTR 91? What do you think I'm going to say?
Shoot some of this.
Or maybe they just want the negative review and the entertainment it provides. That could very well be. I don't know. It doesn't change how I do it here. I do what I do, dude. I do what I do. So weight is substantial. It's actually so substantial in and of itself for me. It's a deal killer. There's your review right there. Just in and of itself, it's a deal killer on terms of first cool. So again, I go back to my premise for the review. Hey, I'm considering this against an M&P 10, a Ruger 7.62, an MSR 10, whatever rifle you want to throw in there. Well, okay. Well, weight's important. But if you say, I just like it, it's second cool, then hands off, I give you a thumbs up. I've always done that, and I've always advocated everyone do that. As long as, hey, it just turns me on, I just like it. I'm not saying it's the best battle rifle or the lightest battle rifle in the world, but hands off, I dig it. We can't criticize each other for that. I'm not, but I'm coming from a first cool perspective. I have to, because otherwise the video would be 30 seconds. Hey, it's cool, man. Buy it. The PTR 91 rules, dude. Woohoo! End of review. No, not doing it. Flash hider. We'll start up here. It's typical H&K flash hider with a spring steel retention pin. And this isn't made up. It totally came loose during firing. So I just noticed this when I'm making my notes for the gun. I was like, dude, what's up with that? I didn't touch it. It came out of box. Is that a big deal? Well, it doesn't have simple flats for tightening it. It's got the cross slot right here. I could put something in the vents for the flash hider. I've done it many times before. So it's just a little thing. I mean, it's kind of odd, though, that would happen. The barrel is much thicker than the HK91 used to be. That was a tapered, thinner barrel. This is more of a bull barrel. It's a 1 in 10 twist. It's 18 inches in length. And I believe, I'm not mistaken, 15 millimeter by 1 millimeter right-hand thread on this bull barrel. So putting on a standard flash suppressor might be difficult. Some of these I thought were 5.8/24, so maybe they changed it. I didn't take it off to measure it. This is a loaner gun from Gunny's, the Great American Gun Store. Thank you for the loaner. It allows me to do this review, and I expect you guys to buy stuff from them, support them. We don't pay each other, we don't exchange money, we're just trying to support each other's gig. That's it. Gunny's, the Great American Gun Store. There you go. All the information's below. Thanks for supporting them. So that's probably drives to the reason why I'm not taking stuff off and modifying it. It's a loaner, so it's like minimal. Plus I've got like 10 other guns that need attention, and there's no special projects these days on a gun. If it's not shooting, something comes loose, I just bring it to the table. There you go. You're gonna see something else about this gun that is shocking. Absolutely shocking. I couldn't even believe it. The barrel is thick then. Does it need to be that thick? Well, I'll say this. If you're going to give me a thick barrel, give me some accuracy. I mean, really good accuracy, MOA or better.
What is the difference in recoil?
I'll show you how it shot, but if it's just to have a bull barrel and the quality's not that great, then I'm not interested. You might be. I'm not. I think they should have slimmed the barrel down, and I don't know if I've ever said that in any review. The gun maybe wouldn't weigh 9 pounds, 5 ounces naked. The rail actually, I like the profile of the rail. There's a couple things we don't like. One is the finish doesn't match the rifle. It's a gloss anodizing they put on this pretty thick aluminum rail. I love the diameter, the profile. I like to have a Picatinny rail screwed to the bottom of it. Current generations of PTR 91s may have changed this. This one is the removable scope rail on it. Now they weld it. So maybe they change it, but maybe you need to Cerakote it. You know, make it in line with it. It would look a lot more business-like. TacDoodle called this an eBay rail. He said, dude, it looks like they bought it off eBay. It's like shiny, doesn't match. And, you know, he has a point. He has a point. It attached well. It didn't come loose during shooting. I like that.
It looks awful.
There's DD rolling it. I love it when he comes in the reviews.
Dude, for the amount of money you're paying for this thing, they couldn't do a damn finish that matches the gun.
There he goes.
Dude, and I'm a fan of the gun. I like the original. I loved how it looked. I love that slim poly forend. And I used to think, man, that's cool. Look, you know, it's technical and it's 80s.
This wasn't planned, by the way. He just happened to be passing by right now.
And they did this insane pattern, like cut away more metal, do key mod. This, I don't know, it's like a compromise in every single way. And the shininess just totally draws attention to it. You're like, dude, did you change that out? It's the kind of thing someone goes, yeah, I found it on Amazon. Dude, can you believe it? $39. You're like, yep, seems like it. Looks like it. That's a real cool rail there, buddy.
So funny.
Yeah,
you have a really good, no, you can weigh in anytime. You have a really good point on the key mod. Make it key mod.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is a thick rail. I'm a little more forgiving on the rail than TD is because I think it's thin. It's very low profile. It follows the profile of the original handguard. That's cool. They do offer the original handguard on some of their versions. I think their PTR 91 GI has, I think, NRA good OD green furniture on it. Awesome.
That
so
would be the one to get. That one's cool looking.
So that might be the way to go on it. But I looked at the weight on that one and it didn't save any weight. They list the same weight. So even with a polymer forend, they're still saying it's around 9 pounds unless their data's incorrect. Got a press. Forward charging handle, a la H&K, nothing new. We've shot several guns that have that. I'm not a super fan of it on a rifle. On a PCC, I'm more forgiving. It's just a long reach to come up here. Wah, wah. You notch it. There's no last shot hold open. Standard G3 HK91. So you don't have that. And here's another huge disadvantage that no one ever talks about. Scope bell. So if you mount a scope on your PTR 91, HK91 be no different. We had to go with a really short scope. We had one out here that had higher magnification and we're battering our knuckles when we use a charging handle. Yeah, but you're not really supposed to use a scope on it. It's only supposed to be used with irons. Is that why PTR is welding on now a Picatinny rail? Refuted. Nope. That's a main reason I don't like the forward charge handle, because of optics interference. I don't like not having last shot hold open. I think it's dumb. Doodle, do you like not having
stupid.
It's a 60s thing.
We're coming up on the year 2020. It's kind of hard to believe that people would still go, yeah, it doesn't have last shot hold open. You got to reach and fiddle with this knob that's always collapsed down and do. I don't know. Seems like it's easy to screw up under stress.
And then it folds flat, so you're grabbing it here. So if you mount something on the side, even if it did have, you know, M-lock or key mod, let's say you do mount something here. What are you going to do with that interference? Because now you need to keep this side clean is my point.
Oh, yeah.
Because this is your charging handle working side. Now, at the outset, let's remind everyone, if someone's hyperventilating out there, I'm reviewing it against modern competition. Because that's what the comments are saying. They are considering buying this over all the other modern alternatives. True or false?
All the time. Every 308 rifle. Everyone kind of has their own platform. They like, what about an M1A against this? What about a sweet PTR?
And why do they have that? Because they've already bought it.
Yeah, most of the time they bought it because they liked it. Cool.
That's cool. But, and second cool, we'll give fair credit to the PTR, to the H&K series. Second cool, we get it. We reviewed the C93 together, the Century Arms, and we like that gun. Oh, it's the same gun. It's just a 223 polymer forend, old school.
Well, that was the origin of the PTR thing. It was everything you don't like about this rifle, you will love on the PTR. It's just a difference in quality. And I was thinking, hey, cool. And then we try it out, and it's so disappointing.
We'll hang out for a bit, because I want to bounce off you as I go. So we've got the hooded aperture H&K sight, cool. And by the way, we found the sights and we did shoot at irons to be right on. So they were well regulated, well done PTR. Standard rear sight drum graduated from 100 to 400 meters on the PTR, just like the H&K. Talked about the scope mount. This one is the generation where it is removable. And maybe for Mr. Irons, that's a good thing because he's just going to shoot irons. You'll save some weight. You won't add scope weight to it. I think, honestly, Doodle, that's the way to go if you get a PTR. Just run it with irons. Run it old school, second cool thing.
That would be my thing. Like with normal...
Like an M1 Garand.
Original looking forend.
Like an M1A, oftentimes.
No special funky nonsense. No
Mauser.
Rails, no nothing. Just like it was in the 60s.
Look at run it old school 60s style.
Brazilian paratroopers run this. And they just run like irons on most of them. And
still?
They're beat to hell. Oh, yeah.
Well, I missed that one.
Yeah, it's... messy.
So standard H&K sights, which I think are good, they work. I do think the plastic front sight blade, albeit it's protected, is... I do think the front sight blade is a little bit thick, but that's standard H&K. And you can swap out parts. There's all types of things that you could change on this rifle. H&K guys know it. PTR 91 guys know it. No time to really go over all of that. Show them that one.
This would be the one to get.
This is... TD's 1/6 scale G3.
Dude, for my Joes, that was one of the coolest freaking rifles.
And I'll just jump ahead real quick since he threw this on the camera right now. TD was shooting the PTR 91. He goes, dude, this sucks. Like all the guns that I loved growing up as a kid, that I lusted after playing G.I. Joes, I don't like anymore. Does that cover it too?
Oh, yeah.
He's like, doing this gun review gig has ruined so many guns for me. True or false?
Oh, yeah. Stuff I used to be excited.
Cool.
This one's a total example. You know, I'd have a dude armed with this going, man, that's the coolest freaking thing. It's got the cool forend, the collapsible stock, and yeah, it totally collapses, even in 1/6 scale. I think, yep, mag comes out too. That's real cool.
That is that a 21st Century Toys or a Dragon? I
21st
forget.
Century.
So... And I taught him even then about the importance of 308 firepower, didn't I?
Oh, yeah.
I was like, dude, if you need to go through a car door, you want to use a 308, go with a G3.
Oh, yeah.
But, I mean, that's... Yeah, it's playtime, but it also made him into the kid he is now, because he's weapons aware.
Yeah.
It kind of ruins it, though, when you get a hold of the real thing, and maybe it's somewhat less impressive shooting than you thought.
So much
and there's
less
some other
impressive.
stuff we're going to cover.
Yeah.
For instance, how about this here, the trigger? Now, you can see that on this G3, they have an old-style thumb shelf pistol grip. You could swap this out, but what we're reviewing is as it comes to you. So it's straight. Hope you like it. I'm talking straight grip. There's no finger grooves or anything. There's no storage compartment. Hope you like it because you're stuck with it unless you want to go out and change it and spend money.
Judging from what they say about Glocks, I'm sure everyone likes this one more. Because everyone, it seems like whenever you have finger grooves like that, there's always a portion of people that
it's controversial
for some reason. I guess they don't have the same fingers everyone else does. And
I'm not really criticizing the grip. While shooting, I wasn't saying, hey, this grip sucks. I'm not saying that at all. I actually like it, but I'm saying you're stuck with it.
Yeah.
You don't have the modularity of this one, of a modern AR-10 where, hey, I don't like that Blackhawk pistol grip on the MSR-10. Cool. Go spend $15 and change it out.
Yeah. To whatever angle you want, too.
Right.
Because you're stuck with this geometry.
Yeah, whatever color you want.
Yep.
You can change colors all over this. The modularity is not there at all. How about the trigger? Well, how about I don't like it? It's awful. It is a stiff trigger, dude. I didn't measure it, and I won't for time, but did you like shooting the trigger?
Not really. It was clean.
It's like pull. Oh, wait, it hasn't broke yet? Pull.
Yeah.
Oh, there's the shot breaks.
It was clean, but it felt like it was made out of Legos. It was like a big square flat blade here. You pull, you keep pulling, and then it just breaks all at once. I don't know.
There's different trigger packs. I think even PTR offers an HK, metal, navy, some other H&K specific stuff, of which I'm not the expert.
Heaven forbid they call it something normal. It's always Navy, competition.
But that goes back to regular H&K nomenclature.
Oh, yeah.
So that they've just stuck with it. I don't fault them for that. Safety is positive. I like that. It is awkward, too. I mean, we would want the safety to be around here, and it's backwards. True. Am I just making this up?
No, the number one complaint I have with this gun is it's made for people that have hands at least an inch and a half longer.
Well, I'll hold it up. Actuate the safety.
So if you're in trigger position, you come up. Cool.
Hang on one sec. I'm going to rack this open. Now, again, we are comparing it against modern competition. Modern options to purchase. It reviews much more meaningful that way. You know, if guy will roll, hey, you should compare it against FN FAL only. Well, that's not what guys are doing, though. They are considering I'm purchasing this over an AR-10.
Yeah.
That's what we've been read in comments for 10 years. I told them that at the outset. And you feel the comments. Is that right?
Yep.
Okay, hit it. So notice how his thumb is coming back.
And I'm having to totally adjust my grip in order to get enough leverage to hit that. And I got pretty big hands.
Okay.
They're not small.
So trigger stiff, safety is not great.
Awkward.
Enough time spent on that.
So you got to... I shouldn't have this much hassle.
Well, it is on the
I am
table.
holding it kind of weird.
Yeah, it's more that you're holding it.
You shouldn't have to change.
Angle.
And then the mag release is so far forward.
Well, and the mag release I don't have a huge problem with. I mean, I can run with it. It's just a push button release.
Well, we're spoiled by the AR pattern because everything here is at hand. You don't have to break your shooting grip. You can manipulate everything right from where you are. There's no dicking around. There's no like opening your hand up, moving up, down.
Okay, so let me represent the comment. The guy's going to come in and goes, well, you guys just need to train better. You need to adapt to different platforms. What I'll say is, dude, we shoot more platforms than anyone I know of. In 308 pattern rifles, dude, I mean, we shoot everything. Bullpups, FNs, H&Ks, Armalites, Colts. So we have a lot of experience to draw from. A lot. What we're representing to you is our preference and representing what we think most preferences will be out there.
Well, it drives me crazy when people say, well, you can train around it, because human beings can adapt to a lot of very shitty things.
Like a musket.
Yeah, they can adapt to
Train
musket.
with it. The reason you're so slow in reloading is because you haven't trained in it.
No, you could live off of ramen and blue box mac and cheese. You just got to adapt to it. I do it all the time. It's just because you can adapt to it doesn't mean it's a good starting point. If you already have...
That it's not a shitty system.
Yeah. For the guys that already train with this and they're good with it, rock on. You already have the time invested. For a new user who's starting out, who's looking at grabbing one of these platforms and running with it, don't go with this if that's going to be your main battle rifle. Okay,
we got to push on. Otherwise, this is going to be freaking feature length. Okay. This magazine is awesome. We love the magazine. It's aluminum. It is an original G3 mag. They have repurposed them, and I didn't have any complaints at all. It's easy to load.
I love it.
I just love the G3 magazine. It's cool. It's lightweight. So it's pretty funny. You have such a heavy weapon system, and yet it's so darn heavy. I mean, it's so funny that you have such a heavy weapon system with such a light magazine. You know, it's like you would think, well, they use a good magazine. It should show up in the weight. Nope. Can you imagine what this would weigh if it had an FNAR magazine, which weighs 12 ounces? It'd be over 10 pounds, naked, without anything. Positive insertion, easy, all that. Fluted chamber, I think PTR uses a couple less flutes than the HK91 does. They did it to minimize recoil.
Credit where credit.
We're going to talk about that here in a second. They did it to minimize recoil. So you're going to have, you know, casings that are marked up when they eject. And by the way, they go into the next county. You might want to watch where they land. Some are reloadable. I hear guys saying about 50% they can reload out of shooting an HK, G3, HK91 PTR pattern rifle. Go figure. Moving on. This one is equipped with a plastic stock. Okay, and it has this typical H&K short length of pull. This one came with a rubber extension on it, which I put it on for me. So TD and I are out there shooting the PTR 91. This is an ergonomic thing. And I'm getting my beard hair ripped out. I'm like, what is going on? This is a smooth stock. And I'm getting beard hair. I had it grown out a little bit, not a lot. And it's getting shredded. Here's what happened, dudes. The freaking stock cracked. Right there, see it? That's out of the box. How many rounds was that when it cracked? I don't know, about 200 fired.
Yeah.
And the stock cracked. Dude, come on.
I freaking
So I told you there was something astonishing that happened. That's it. Why in the world would a new manufacturer PTR stock break?
Brand new.
Hey, I've had mine. I've never had it break. Dude, it doesn't change our data. You know, I'm not going to represent your data, which is to me and us unverified.
It's ripping my beard.
Oftentimes when we get down to brass tacks, when someone says, oh, I shot mine, and we dig in and we start finding out about this person, what they do, we find out they haven't shot it at all. True?
Yeah.
We find out that it's sat under their bed. That happens a lot in TNP.
Really?
We'll get to know the person, and like, yeah, I didn't know, and we find out. You know, I don't know. Is that a showstopper? Well, what it is kind of an indicator to me. So if that's going to break, what else is going to break? It is warranted for 3 years on guns produced after 2012 with PTR Industries. So no doubt you could just pop it off with the 2 pins here, send it in, they'll replace it. So not a big deal unless you're in a situation where you really need the gun. What if you're in a life or death situation? Then it's kind of a big deal.
It just blows me away. The gun is so heavy to start out, and it has a solid stock, yet that's the thing to crack. And we hadn't hit it, hadn't dropped it. The whole time it was in padded cases or on the shoulder getting shot.
No last shot hold up.
Yeah,
It
and we
blows me away.
really reiterated. Go to TacDoodle's channel, by the way, and we're going to square the PTR 91 off against the M&P 10. I want you to post that on your channel.
Yeah.
So go to his channel. It's annotated, and it'll be annotated at the end. Subscribe, watch that, and like we said 15 times, he just said it again there. We didn't drop the stock, but even if we did, should it break?
Yeah.
What if you drop this one? It didn't break.
Yeah.
It should be able to be dropped. You might even be able to smack in a door without it busting.
Yeah. It's supposed to be able to beat in a commie's teeth back in the 70s, man.
The Setme G3HK91 is the most
Yeah.
proven battle rifle other than the effing FAL in the world.
The right arm.
Have
of
you
the
read that
world.
comment?
Yeah.
Let's get on to how it shoots. Moving along. I think it's fun TD showed up. It makes it fun and funnier. And actually he can back me up on the stuff I'm saying. PTR stands for Precision Target Rifle. Did you know that?
Uh-oh.
PTR stands for Precision Target Rifle. We talked about how thick that barrel is. So surely all the internet bragging on how accurate this thing will come to pass. I was thinking, okay, it's heavy. It's got some quirks. I can deal with all of that if it shoots MOA. Well, this is how it shot.
Astounding performance.
S&B, there's PMC. PMC, that's an okay group, maybe 2.5 inches. Federal 180 grain soft point. Man, is that recoil. Aguila FMJ, not great. That's a good, probably the best group we got out of it, S&B load. This is at, I think this is yesterday at the range. The Aguila came off the paper here. There's a round here, another round here. This, I'm sorry, but that's not great.
It's not great.
That's like an M1A that's unaccurized.
Yeah.
That's like an RFB. RFB shoots about the same way. But let's talk to these two guys who say, well, you know, that's plenty good accuracy. Dude, against the competition? Not that the MSR-10 is the best representative, but
Yeah.
against the M&P 10?
Against other stuff for the money.
Let me keep it real. Where did it go, dude? I got the M&P 10 target here. Here you go. M&P 10 yesterday at 300 yards. That's 300 yards out of an M&P 10. I'll roll in the footage. Hey, but that's atomic match. Okay, but I shot match out of this too. There's match. That's PMC 168 grain match. It's the same load. So the M&P 10 is shooting the same at 300 yards as it did at 100.
Well, all this paints a picture of a gun that doesn't have enough redeeming functional attributes to make it a good buy. You can't, like the PTR is, if it's a collectible or a curio or
Awesome.
something to match
I'm
the
all
pattern,
for that.
rock on, but we really found little in the way to justify the price and the money spent on it.
Agree.
When it comes down to performance.
This came off the chart here. Here's one quick more M&P 10. So it's a modern AR style. There it is right by your knee. Grab it and just throw it in front of the camera while I'm talking about it. So it's this exact gun. Yesterday, we shot atomic shooting into basically just over half an inch. Questions? I mean, so precision target rifle? Seriously? Precision target rifle? That's good, bro. I don't know, man. We didn't see it. So how about shooting dynamics? How did it shoot? Brutally, in a word. Brutally. Am I making that up? Look at the video. This thing recoils substantially, probably more than any other 308 style 308 semi-auto rifle I've shot.
And that was with the recoil pad.
And that's with I think they have like a polymer buffer in the buffer spring. We're not taking it down. We don't have time for that. So they have a polymer recoil spring buffer or back there, and then this, and it's still recoiling like a lot. So much apparently that it broke the stock. Jeez. Did you enjoy shooting it?
Not really.
Okay, so that's that. It's tons of recoil, especially with heavier loads, like 180 grain rounds, 168s, it's tons. And then it failed to cycle yesterday. I forgot to tell you that.
Great.
So I shot NATO spec brass ammo from a Gila. Nothing happened. Single shot, single shot, single shot. And then it started working out of this very mag. So, hey, you should have checked. No, we don't do that anymore. It's not Mythbusters. It just needs to work, and we bring the data to tabletop. This one, up for by way of reference, it has its quirks too. Every gun does. But, man, you talk about 100% reliable no matter what rounds we put in the MSR-10. Did you see it jam with steel?
Nope.
Brass? Low power? High power? Nope, it just worked. Did I have to fiddle with the gas system, which, by the way, is adjustable? Nope. I'm talking the MSR-10 here. Okay, so lots of recoil, not really accurate. Well, the irons were regulated right. I would call the accuracy kind of mediocre, maybe even worse.
Yeah.
Would you agree to that or no?
Yeah.
And guys, again, may roll in and go, hey, I get 1-inch groups out of my PTR all day. Okay, the first thing we're going to do is go to your YouTube channel to see proof. With a video dated before this one. That's the way it works these days. Hey, I got this. Cool. We're going to your channel, and we're going to see you shooting it. No games. No trick editing, which is rampant in YouTube. Rampant. A lot of gun tubers edit to make them seem like this happened, that happened. We don't do that shit. It is what it is. I don't know. Precision target rifle. PTR 91. Let's say this, though. Second, cool. Okay, so we take the scope off, we shoot at irons. We kind of like the recoil. I'm talking about an aficionado of the PTR, the H&K 91. I say go for it. Right on. The thing we, again, are doing is comparing against modern competition. Is that fair to do? Absolutely, it's fair to do.
Well, it's funny to say modern competition because the AR platform isn't, like, new. They didn't come out with these freaking 10 years ago.
Well, but this AR-10 is pretty new. The MSR-10, that's what I'm looking at. It is a new iteration of an AR-10 pattern rifle. But you're right. You could buy an Armalite AR-10. In the 90s, I was looking at it at Dave Gunn's up there in Spokane.
Well, the ergos and stuff were good. Accuracy was probably
all the
better
basics
than
were the same.
This platform back then. Even
it was.
Basics, the AR platform is popular for a reason. There's a reason we don't have PTRs as the main go-to-war rifle for the military and pretty much everyone else. Well,
I'll tell you what, the H&K 91 served militaries for years on end successfully. We're not debating that, dude. What we're looking at is a civilian interpretation of PTR 91 against other possible purchase options, which I'm not going to enumerate for time because we're already over 35 minutes, dude. We're not going to do it. No doubt it had a good service record, but are military still opting for it now? Are you seeing U.S. Special Operations troops opting for an HK G3 style rifle now? No. Are you seeing contractors run around with G3s now?
No.
Maybe a couple, but I would really question their choice. They're carrying around a 9-pound, 5-ounce rifle naked. Then you put anything else on that, a light, a laser, an optic. You're looking at a 12-pound 308. If you're vehicle mounted and you never plan on going anywhere, maybe.
The only people I know that are using them are South American military
I mean,
outfits.
I can go into
know-
Wikipedia and do a screen scroll of who's still
No,
using it. I'm sure they're still
I
around.
straight up talked to a guy one time. He was a parajumper or something with one of those little militaries, and he said that was his gun he carried.
There you go. Upsides to it. Do you have any upsides, Doodle?
You get to do that H&K slap, and I think this looks sturdier than some others. Like the F2000, you can't slap. You're supposed to like gently let it down, and that's part of the fun is, you know, slapping it into position and rocking and rolling.
He's
Aside
the
from
same guy
he does.
that designed this patch, by the way. I could do this all day. Where's your dumbass civilian patch?
Right next to it.
So there you go. He designs that.
Fun.
What was the inspiration for this, by the way?
I just wanted it. All of our stuff were just designs. I'm like, I want that on a shirt. That would be cool.
But Doodle is different. He like his channel. He's like, dude, I'm not some tactical expert. I just tell you my opinions. You can deal with it. I'm just a dumbass civilian. Is that true?
Oh yeah, totally.
So he just kind of makes fun of himself. It's hilarious.
Yeah.
That's our opinion on the PTR 91. If you have it and you're happy, don't sell it.
Yeah.
Be happy. Be happy. Love it. Oh, so what? You know, I'm not going to endorse it. But guys have beat the war drum for the PTR 91 for a decade. Here's your review. And I told him at the outset, I said, hey, are you watching the reviews? Do you know my philosophies about SAWC?
We've been telling him for years it's not going to be pretty.
Yeah, same with a foul. You think my foul review would be any different than this? No, here's a little insight. It won't. It'll be basically the same review. Do you like it because of second cool? Awesome. If you think it's the best battle rifle still in 2017, you're smoking dope. That's how I feel.
So we got a electrical tape modification here for the cracked stock on the PTR 91. All hits. Recoils a lot, don't it?
Yeah.
No last shot hold open.
Man,
Hey, hold up. Is that fun shooting?
No.
You don't like it?
It's all right. It's not. It's like it's a different scale from me. I feel like it's like 1 to 1.5 scale. Like the mag's out of reach, the safety's out of reach, the stock is long. Even though this is the butt pad, everything about it's like big.
You took the butt pad off. It didn't help any.
In
case you're wondering.
Do it again. I spent
Would
a
you
lot
buy
of time.
that? Would you buy that gun?
Hell no.
Didn't you used to love this gun?
I did. I used to shop for it and go, dude, I'm going to add a PTR to the stable one time. I was all excited and I spent like a good 2 days around the house dry firing it, getting the feel of it, and just doesn't click. And I hate this rail.
PTR fans will say it rocks.
I'd be surprised. It doesn't match the look of the rest of the rifle. It looks like an eBay rail. Like they bought it for
They should have
cheap.
done a matte finish on it, made it lighter.
Matte
I like the
finish?
profile of the rail. I think it's functional, but it adds a lot of weight, I think.
I think you could scoop a lot of metal out of there. Oh well.
Now the PTRs come with an attached scope rail, I think.
Look, so I want to do the safety off. Have to pretty
It's
much.
awkward, isn't it?
It's awkward.
Also, we had to put a really short scope on this. Otherwise, you run into the charging handle and you smash your fingers.
Yep.
Woo!
No last
PTR,
shot hold
bro.
open.
Awesome. I like the lightweight magazines on it.
Yeah.
I really like the magazines on it. The HK magazine type is excellent. They're easy to load too.
They look cool.
But
And
the
that's the
dang
sad
thing's
thing.
gonna
I
weigh
used to
like
love
10,
these-
Huh?
I used to love this gun because I had it in all my G.I. Joes, man.
Yeah.
This is like the high-speed, cool European SWAT gun.
Well, guys have asked me to review it. Here you go. You know, it's 60s technology
Yeah.
for second cool. I say rock on.
Yeah.
It's what we said with other similar H&K style of rifles that we've reviewed. For a second cool, you've always wanted to own one. I say go ahead.
Oh, totally.
I'm pretty disappointed the stock cracked on us in regular shooting. That sucks.
Wow.
Always something. And it was not overly accurate. I'd say 2 to 3 MOA with what we saw today. And that's with good loads. True or false?
Yeah.
So it's okay. It's okay. It's not a negative review, but it definitely cannot be a rave review either.
Yeah, if you like the pattern, if you're a collector, yeah, totally cool. But you're not buying it for function in those cases.
Yeah.
You're not buying it as like a tack driver or main defensive armament, especially when you have so many good AR-10 pattern stuff that's awesome.
Why don't you compare it right now or right here against M&P 10? I got one in the truck.
M&P 10 blows it away.
Try it though. Let's
lighter.
load it up and you throw a mag through that and just give some comparison and contrast.
Yeah, might as well. I got a couple more rounds.